Welcome to another edition of not Mortgage Talks, Genius Loan Officer. I tell you what, I don't know. We're just going everywhere in all different directions, aren't we? So those that have been on the podcast for a while, that we changed over. I'm so happy that we have it rebranded Genius Loan Officer. You can go to geniusloanofficer.com and schedule an appointment today if you want to scale your business as a loan officer. All right, so today let's talk about scaling your business and with just the business that you already have. Oftentimes, loan officers just overlook what's right in front of them, which is not just loan officers, it's real estate agents, it's financial planners, it's anybody in any business anywhere. We just look over business that's right in front of us. So, we need to make sure that we are doing everything we can to maximize what we have in front of us. So I call this the plus one. And after this call, if you want this sent to you, so you can go ahead and keep this on hand, fill us out for each client that goes under contract, then you can email angel@geniusloanofficer.com and she will send you a copy. So the plus one mentality is we are trying to add agents. We're trying to add business partners. We're trying to add deals to every single client that comes through the door. We need to be asking. A lot of times, so I've done events and had different conversations with whether it be real estate agents, loan officers, roofers, etc. You ask somebody like, when do you ask for a referral? And they're like, well, when everything's done, after the closing. And it's like, that is the biggest, that's the biggest thing that people say is after it closes, I want to ask for it. So I was talking to I was doing an event called Power 4, and I was having a conversation with the group, and I was talking about asking for referrals, and the roofer said, yeah, I ask for referrals after it's done. I said, well, why don't you ask before that? He's like, well, what if something just goes wrong? The roofer, they mess up and they're mad about, the client's mad about something that happened in the project. There's a lot of things go on. I said, I asked him this question. I said, and I'm just going to make up his name, Bob. And I said, Bob, let me ask you something. If your people didn't do an excellent job on the roof, or if something need to be taken care of, what would you do? He's like, man, I tell you what, I would go out there and I would make sure it was repaired the way they wanted to. I'd make sure it was discounted and give them some discount. I would make sure that things were better than what I actually even originally said I was going to do. And he had like 5 or 6, 7 different things he was going to do to resolve it, which was amazing, right? He was going to take care of the client. I said, so let me ask you, Bob, your worst case scenario is things don't go correct. And now after I asked you if it doesn't go correct, what was your answer? Was it that you're going to take care of the client? He's like, heck yeah, I'm going to take care of the client no matter what. And all of a sudden, a light bulb went off. And he was like, yeah, I should be asking the client before the project's done if they have anybody else that they know I can help. And absolutely, that's the case. If you're a loan officer out there and you're having these angst, like, oh my gosh, what if the loan doesn't go perfectly? Well, guess what? Newsflash, it's probably not going to. It's loans. Okay, no matter how good you are. Somebody's like out there, I know somebody's already saying back to me behind their computer, oh, everything goes, I got the best team, I got this, yeah, whatever. Okay, you get 20, 40 loans, whatever you got in there in the pipeline, you have a few that's not going to go correct. Okay, I don't care what you do, you're going to have a dumpster fire. It's going to happen. It's just part of it. You're going to get a underwriter that's not going to be favorable. You're going to have all these things. We have control of a lot, but we don't have control of everything. But what we have control of is how we're going to communicate, how we're going to take care of our client. And the fact is, like, are you confident in the fact that you're going to take care of the client if the deal doesn't go as smoothly as possible, as smooth as possible. And if you answer yes, and you have a plan of action when things don't go smoothly, I'm going to reach out to the client. I'm going to have a good conversation with them. I'm going to, love on them a little extra. I'm going to, even after it closes, I'm going to follow up with them. I'm going to send pizza to the residents when they're going to move, and I'm going to, whatever you're going to do to make this right and make it a good experience no matter what. If you know that you're committed to doing that, then why are you not asking for referrals off the bat? I'm pausing. I'm letting you think about that. So right now, most of you listening right now are not asking for referrals before it goes to closing. And the big question is, how are you going to change that? Well, it starts right between your ears, and it becomes where we talk about shrinking, or we talk about posturing, and in the middle is what? Confidence and composure. And that is part of asking for referrals as well, is being confident and composed. The fact that you're going to do things you need to do. You're going to show up where you need to. You're going to take care of clients the way they should be taken care of, and you're going to ask for referrals. So we're going to go through like the stages here and some things to consider to get +1. It's not just about asking for referrals, but I want to come out of the gates on this very strong, because this is one that's so simplistic, but you probably haven't been doing. When they call up, you're not asking for referral. You're not asking for referral throughout the process. You're waiting until afterwards, until you know that you feel good about yourself and you feel good about the process and everything else. And then you're waiting. Okay. And you may think, oh my gosh, again, what if something goes wrong and then they refer me somebody, and then they're going to pull the referral back, or they're going to tell them all of a sudden, they're using me, and then they're going to tell that client that they referred, like, man, never mind, don't go to them. What's going through your mind that's not allowing you to ask? So really dive into that and make sure that you uncover that, what's going on in your head that's not allowing you to do it. So if we want to maximize our opportunity to grow our business, we got to look no further than the instant we get into a referral, we're asking for referrals. But +1 is a mental state. It's kind of like, when we talk about confidence, confidence is something we do. Composure is something we do. +1 is something we do. It's a mental state. Okay. It is a mental state. Go mental with me. Get mental. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Get mental. So the moment you get that client, you should be thinking, like, where am I going to get another client from? So the application starts. You're going to go through the process, right? You're going to go through the application stage. You're going to pre-approve them. The big mistake we also make is we have someone that's not credit worthy. They're credit challenged. I may have talked about this on this podcast before, I don't know, but it's worth repeating. So it was like 2.5 years ago. I was in my office, right before I was like, man, I'm going to make sure that I continue. I'm going to +1. I'm going to make sure that I ask everybody for a referral, and I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do +1. And so I get a call, and on the other line's a sweet voice, and her name is Brenda. And Brenda's like, hi, I'm calling about a home loan. You're, referred to me. And I'm like, oh, awesome. That's great. Yeah, I absolutely love to help you. And we had this great dialogue back and forth. She was talking about why she wanted to buy a home, because I was asking those types of questions, and just all these good stories that were coming out, and how she was, improving her life, and all this stuff was just, I mean, beautiful. I was feeling great about the conversation, and I pulled her credit, and she had a 540 credit score. And I was not on the phone at the time when I pulled the credit. I was like, man, shoot. that stinks. I really, sometimes you have a feeling whether somebody's got a good credit or not. We can say we don't. You're lying. You kind of have that inkling whether somebody does or not. I thought she did have good credit. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. You have bad credit. It doesn't mean you're a good person. You have great credit. But sometimes you have that inkling, right? And so I was like, man, I hate this. But I was like, okay, I need to center myself. I still got to have the +1 mentality. Adam, you made a commitment that you're going to do this. You're going to +1. And so I give her a call and I have this really good conversation with her. Obviously, I have empathetic nature in my voice, and I really was empathetic because I wanted to help her buy a home right now. And of course, I went through the process of like how she can improve her credit, still continue to just encourage her, lift her up, and she felt uplifted. And then I said, who else do you know that's looking to buy a home? She says, you know what? I actually have my friend Amber. I think he's trying to buy a home. I was like, she said, I'll give you her, I'll have her call you. I was like, okay, great. I was like, you have her number? And she said, well, I'll make sure, she wants me to refer you. I'll have her call you. I was like, you know what? Thank you so much. And I said, let me ask you something out of curiosity, like, what, why would you refer me? Which is, by the way, a great question to ask. You know why? Because they're going to tell them why they wanted to, they're referring you, which is good. And they're telling themselves why, which in turn, when they have a conversation with a client, their friend, they're going to say why. And which is very powerful when they're referring, by the way. Big tip right there, write it down right now. Yes, I keep referring to Super Troopers. It's a great movie. It's a business classic. It's a real business classic, I tell you. If you're like Officer Farva, you get a lot more business and loans. Some of you are like, what is this guy talking about? I don't know sometimes either. I don't know where it comes from, but I love that movie. Listen, if you don't, oh well. But so listen, right now, write that down. Seriously. You ask the client why, when they say I'll refer you my friend, ask them out of curiosity, like, why would you refer me? What's making you refer me to your friend? Something along that lines. It's very new. It's acquisitive tone, and they're going to say the reason why they are referring you, which is very important. They're going to tell themselves that, and it's more powerful of a referral because not saying, hey, you need to call Adam, he's a loan officer. Hey, call Jim Bob, he's a loan officer, right? Like, if you're in Kentucky, a lot of Jim Bobs and, stuff like that around. Just joking. Sorry, Kentucky, my fellow Kentuckians. But seriously, they're going to tell you why it's important, and they're going to tell their client or their client friend why they're referring you. Hey, he's really good. I tell you what, he went through everything. He was meticulous. He was uplifting. Whatever they're telling you. He's professional. She was great. She really went through the process. She took her time. She was very informative. She wasn't pushing, whatever that be, whatever those things are. They're now going to repeat that. It's kind of like Facebook. If somebody, like, if you're ever, by the way, if you're trying to, help someone out and refer someone, like, it's like where Facebook, for example, somebody will ask, hey, who's the best plumber, right? And they're like, and they'll say, oh, you got to call my friend Jim. Well, and then everybody's got the same thing. Call them. What if you said something like, I don't know what your specific needs are for this, but I would refer Jim if you're looking for X, Y, and Z. These things, this is what they're really good at. What do you think has more power and more persuasion for someone to call your buddy Jim on that post compared to everybody else's? Way, way higher. I guarantee it. In fact, I've done it several times. And when I've been referring somebody, out of all the posts, they've gotten deals over and over different times, because I don't just say, call them, call Nick. No, call Nick, because if you are looking for these things, XYZ, he's great financial. He's great for their financial plan because he goes through meticulous due diligence, whatever those things are. That is very powerful. So you want them to do that. So going off on a tangent on +1 here, because this is something I really didn't even plan on saying, but I just love salesmanship. In our Genius Loan Officer, we have a ton of stuff that, I'll tell you what, my master class that we're going to be putting on is totally mind-blowing for anybody that never had anything, any training like that, and it will completely give you a superpower. But then little things like this that I'm saying on here, you want to go ahead and start getting down. So ask that question. So they're going to tell you why. Okay. So when I told her this, by the way, and so go back to the story, when I told Brenda, I had that conversation, she told Amber. Amber called me, actually repeated back the reason why she called, exactly what Brenda had said. Amber repeated what Brenda had said about why she was calling me specifically. She had talked to other lenders, but Brenda wanted me to call you because you were really meticulous about going through the application, and more than anything, the biggest thing she said is that you really cared about helping her and lifting her up. And that's the type of person I want to do business with. Pretty cool stuff, right? So she had other lenders that she spoke to. However, she called me because specifically that question as well. So Amber was good to go. Amber closed, along with 8 other, in a 2-year period, less than a 2-year period. So 9 total deals from asking someone with a 540 credit score if they could refer me somebody who do they know, and specifically, like, why would you refer me afterwards? 9. Think about that. So when you think, okay, hey, gosh, I'm getting these bum leads, or I'm getting these referrals, and are you maximizing that? Now, in my mind, so let's think about the mind screw we have with ourselves all the time, because I was screwing with my mind when this is literally what I thought I was saying. When somebody had a bad credit score before this previously, and I had to talk my way through this before this conversation, I'm so glad I did, is when somebody would call me with a score that was low, I didn't want to ask them for a referral, not because I didn't think they didn't have anybody out there, or everybody they're going to refer is going to be a bad credit score. By the way, if you're thinking that, like, hey, well, they got a bad credit score, birds flock together. I get, come on now, let's just knock it off. Like, just because they got a bad credit score does not mean everybody that they know has a bad credit score. But that is not what went through my mind. What went through my mind, and maybe going through your mind some subliminally or thinking about this, is I almost want to catch my words, kind of like we talked about before, catching your words, right? With your spouse and saying stupid stuff. And so I felt like I was saying something stupid again, which I do often anyway. I get it. You listen to this podcast, you already know. Kind of like my reference earlier with Farva. But seriously, I would ask somebody, hey, Brenda, who do you know that else is looking to buy a home? What I thought was coming out of my mouth, what I felt like was coming and hitting their ears was, I know your credit sucks, but you know anybody that doesn't suck that I can help? That's literally what, I felt like the projection, was, even though I wasn't saying that or thinking that, none of that was going through my mind. I was thinking that. I felt like that was what was going to hit their ears. Now, why would that be that I was thinking that? That was a lot of internal thoughts, bad thoughts I had to knock out of the equation. We all have them. If you don't understand you have them, I still have them some now that hang me up, that I feel like I'm saying something and it's not what I want to convey, and because it's something going on internally that's hanging me up. We all have it. If you don't think you have it, you got even more work than you think you have. Okay. So I thought I had that. I thought I was saying that simply because I felt, one, like I didn't feel confident enough I was helping someone. Like, and I had to go back and say, okay, am I really helping someone? Well, yes. I didn't just say you got a 540 credit score, you suck, leave my, I don't even want to call you back. I say you got a 540 credit score and I want to help you. Let me tell you how to help you to help yourself. Let me give you the roadmap to do that. That's very valuable to people. Guess what? A lot of people do it. And you out there, shame on you. If you're a lender, shame on you right now. And you need to change this right now if you are not advising people what to do if they got a bad credit score. And I know I'm talking to some of you out there because I've gotten over the years where they've called 3 different lenders. They're not telling them a damn thing about what they need to do for the credit score. Shame on you. That's not serving people. That's not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be signed up as a loan officer for that. I don't care how many deals you're doing. If you think you're too big to help people like that, then you need to get out of the game. You need to get people in place that wants to help people, because that is what you're here to do. You're here to serve people. And if you don't have that, I can't help you. It's kind of like I had a client a few years ago I fired as that was coaching, because he said he didn't care about helping anybody. He just wanted to make more money. I was like, I can't do anything with that. I can't help you be a good person. Maybe I could. I ain't got time for that. I'm not doing it. Like, go get yourself correct. Okay. So we're here to serve them. So if you are, and I bet you, if you're on this podcast, you're like, the finger was pointing right past you because it ain't you, right? Because you're here to scale and help and grow and push into it. So you are the exception out there. And realize this too, that you listening to this, you're probably the exception, right? Because there's so many lenders that are like what I just described, but you're not that way, are you? So you're helping someone. You're helping someone tell them what they need to do to help their credit. So then why are you not asking them for a referral? You're helping them. It's beautiful. You've helped them, give them the roadmap. You can't do it all for them. They have to do their work. It's just like when we have coaching clients, I never take credit like, oh my gosh, like, look what we did for this client. By the way, there's a lot of coaches out there like take all credit. The hero is the person doing the work. You are the guide. The Genius Loan Officer is the guide. The hero is the one doing the work, because without somebody doing the work, and by the way, we go off another tangent on this when it comes to posts or anything else, like taking credit for people going 30 years working on a credit and doing the right things, and then all of a sudden you're the one that just miraculously, because you're a lender, you're trying to take all the credit. Don't take the credit for people. That's their credit to take. Brenda, when she turned her credit around and she got a home, that was her credit to take, not my credit to take. I tell you what, some of these little mental shifts that I'm trying to like embed in you, it's not because I'm just like thinking I'm holier now, because I screw up all the time. I've gotten to where, I thought I was bigger than my britches, right? Where, I thought I was hot crap, right? Like some once in a while I get that way and I have to smack my own self. I have to get coaching and smack me around. We all have it. But listen, like, don't take credit for people. Like, they're the ones that are doing that work and putting in that, but you're just a guide. So be that guide. But if you are being that guide, guess what? You did help them. And you need to ask for a referral, because you're going to help the next person either buy a home or you're going to advise them. You're going to do the right thing. So that's my tangent for today, but let's go on to other stuff here. So I don't know. I could get up from 3 more tangents. I don't know what's going on with me. I took some Jocko juice earlier, by the way. I took some Jocko juice the other Monday. I was doing squats, and anybody knows Jocko Willink? He's just a complete badass, and he's got this energy drink, and he's got the book Extreme Ownership. Of course, decorated officer in the military, right? So I was sweating and pouring sweat out there and trying to like get through my workout. And I was like, my squats were feeling great, deadlifts, and I was like, man, I'm tired out here. It's 84 degrees in my garage, sweating. I said, no, I got the Jocko juice and extreme ownership. I got to keep going. So we got some Jocko juice going. I'm feeling good about life. I'm helped. I mean, it's just great to be serving so many clients and Genius Loan Officer and our growth and your growth. I know that you're having out there. So if I get excited once in a while, well, I don't apologize. So it's just to help you, and I love serving you out there. So the application pre-approval stage, if you know the +1 mentality, if somebody's got if they're a first-time home buyer and they need to go FHA, then we need to already be embedding in them that the possible refinance to a conventional in the future. So a +1 mentality has those conversations, and that doesn't mean that you're trying to, by the way, like, and so I keep prefacing stuff because I don't want anybody to take it wrong or there's bad lending going on. You do not want to set people off FHAs simply because you want to refinance them later. That's not +1 mentality. That's a-hole mentality. So +1 mentality says if somebody has to go an FHA loan, then you are going to set them up for knowing that they can do a conventional loan in the future. If, say, they want to stay there for a while, then you're already having that conversation early, getting in your head like, listen, you need to do a FHA now. You have a 640 credit score. It's the best option for you with the down payments, all that stuff. Now, in the future, you know, we'll continue to work on your credit a little bit more after you even close, and in the future, do a conventional loan. This is how it's going to save you money. So you're already having that conversation, embedding it, because it is what's best for the client. If it's what's best for the client, and it's what's best for you and your income and scaling, is having a +1 mentality off the bat. So future investor. So +1 mentality is talking about future investor. So are we having that conversation? You're pre-approving somebody, it's first time buying a home, for example. Do they know that they can buy that home and then a year later go buy another home and just as another primary? Their intent is to own this one now and live in it, which is fine. And then later they can do that. Or maybe you talk to them about a duplex now, and then they're going to do that. So getting in that conversation of a future investor is a +1 mentality. Okay. All buyers, you need to ask for a referral. Ask for business professional referrals. So this is a really big one to scale your business. You don't want to cold call. I have I don't know if you out there have watched the show Seinfeld. I know I keep just getting references here of stupid shows, but Seinfeld back in the day, it's called the Soup Nazi. And you know, if anybody's ever watched it, they go in there and the guy's like, he's just angry guy. And so but he makes the best soup ever. And so if you mess up anything, the Soup Nazi, he just kicks him out. No soup for you. And it's just funny, but we have a thing in Genius Loan Officer, no cold call for you. So kind of on the meme, we like to have some fun. So, but anyway, to do one of those ways you can do that is you're constantly asking buyers, not just for referrals for clients, you're asking them for referrals to CPAs, financial planners, divorce attorneys. Maybe they don't actually, any of those business professionals they can refer you to. They may have a financial advisor now. The +1 mentality says, hey, do you have a financial advisor now? No. Okay. Well, let's get you to my buddy, Nick. That's a really good financial advisor, right? Let's get my buddy, Ben. That's a great financial advisor. Hey, let's get you to Lori, my great CPA, for future needs, whatever. You can also refer them over to your business professionals, but you need to be asking a +1 mentality, like, do they know any good, hey, you just filed your taxes. Like, you got a good CPA? Oh yeah, I love my CPA. Oh, awesome. You mind to give me an introduction? I'm always looking to partner with people. Hey, do you have a financial planner? Oh yeah, I love them. Scale 1 to 10. Oh, they're 10. Oh, I'm tell you what, that is great. Like, do you mind to introduce me to them? right? That's a +1 mentality. Buyer agent. Who else do I need to follow up with? We need to make sure that we're not just ending there, especially a new relationship with the buyer agent. They sent you somebody. Don't just stop there. You got speed to lead. They referred you somebody. Boom, you're on it. You did a great job. You go back and you talk to the buyer agent. Hey, listen, Sally, John said you are an amazing realtor and like this about you. It's a really good conversation to have. And I asked him if he knows anybody else that's looking to buy a home. He hasn't yet, but guess what? If he ever does, then I will make sure that I get it back to you if he ever refers me anybody. So, and then who else do I need to follow up through with? So don't stop there. And then all of a sudden you've done your speed to lead. You said you're going to refer them back somebody. You said you're going to, you've shown that you are someone that is already doing a good job, whether this be right in the first relationship or you've had a relationship for a while. People forget, oh man, yeah, you know what? I've had trouble getting a hold of them. Can you get a hold of them? Absolutely. Ask a referral to another agent from the buyer agent. That's a +1 mentality. +1 mentality says, hey, you know what? I tell you what, I really like working with you. I have the ability to serve 5 more agents at a high level like I do you. Like, who else do you know? And can you set us up a meeting together? And then you want a +1 mentality is set an appointment with the buyer agent. It's a new buyer agent, set that appointment. You've got some deals with, maybe you had one appointment before, it's been 2 months, set that appointment again. Let's go back and let's never have a powwow. Okay. Let's have another conversation, right? So that's a good thing to do. Set an appointment, have a conversation with them in a deeper level. Contract comes over. You're going to repeat the actions really performed in the application process, right? You're just going to continue to repeat those. The seller agent now is on board, and you should be like, oh, heck yeah, +1 mentality, got the seller agent. I'll tell you what, it's the contract comes over. The first thing you should be doing is like, where's that seller agent? Who's that seller agent? Now, maybe you talk the +1 mentality is also before they go to contract, you're already talking to that seller agent if you know what their house they're looking at. So you're calling the seller agent, hey, you're saying, hey, listen, if we do go into contract, here's what's going to happen. Here's how we're going to perform. I'm going to update you. All these things. That's +1 mentality. So you're looking to set an appointment from that seller agent, by contract in. That is a +1 mentality. Ask what client you can help them follow through with as well. Don't be afraid to do that. Hey, they're just a seller agent. Well, maybe they had someone that they've come across. And then ask, listen, if they're just a seller agent, man, that's the only thing I do. Maybe they have a team. Maybe they obviously know the realtors. Hey, listen, I know I can't serve you because, in some of those capacities. So, who's a buyer agent that that you'd feel comfortable introducing me to? That's a +1 mentality. So filling out this sheet and saying every single time, like when a client comes, what is the +1? How many +1s am I going to get here? So like at the very least, very least, like every single person should have at least one +1 or one. Yeah. +1, right? Because you're going to set an appointment with somebody. You're going to get a referral to a client. You're going to get a referral to another agent. You're going to referral to a business professional. There's plenty of these opportunities, but are you taking advantage of it? So when you go on a contract, man, that's like game on. Especially you've got 3 different avenues to be asking for different ways: appointments, referrals, having a good time, serving people. And I tell you what, you're going to be able to really blow up your business if you're doing these things. So don't just go, hey, I got to keep spending marketing dollars on this. If you're not taking advantage of every opportunity you have and squeezing juice, you got to squeeze that juice. I mean, if you're just taking you're cutting an orange in half, you're like, oh, I'm going to get some orange juice, and you just squeeze it once, and I need 14 oranges to fill this up. Or maybe if you squeeze the juice out of just a few, you probably have a full cup, right? Or more. Or do you think you need 3 bags of oranges to fill 1 cup? Okay. So squeeze the juice out of everything you got and stop going after other shiny objects. We all do it. I do it. I'm guilty of it. So I go to just shiny object. Oh, squirrel, you know, but what's in front of you. And if you just say, hey, do I have the +1 mentality on every single deal? Where am I getting that +1 from? I tell you what, you're going to start winning in a bigger way. I tell you what, fired up today. I know you can tell. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I tuned into. This guy was crazy today. That's good. But I'm just crazy fanatical really about helping you. And I get fired up about this stuff because, you know, I think it's, yeah, I just know there's so much more within all of us to grow. And I am absolute alignment with helping people grow. And I just get geeked out about it when I see someone that is doing well or doing okay. Like I always look and go, man, that's just it's a sculpture right there. Like just have to mold it just a little bit more and they can just, you know, it'll be beautiful. And just realize like that's what Genius Loan Officer, unlock your genius. We all have genius within us, right? So if you want to get this to where you can just print these off and have a whole bunch on your desk, and that way every single time like you get one under contract, especially that's when I would do it. And, you know, even if you're starting to do the +1 beforehand, you can go ahead and when it goes under contract, go, okay, well, I already got one +1. Let's see how many more +1s I got in this four-week period or whatever it's going to take to close it. Put it on your desk, be top of mind. If you have a team, you can kind of work together to get +1s. Just email Angel at geniusloanofficer.com. She will send you back a copy of that. That way you can fill it out. And if you want to schedule a call to help you scale your business, we will see if you're a fit for us as well. We don't just take anybody on. You got to be committed. You got to be wanting to grow and scale in the right way. But we're here to help you if you are the right fit and you're committed to doing that. You go to geniusloanofficer.com. We'll have a conversation with you and we'll determine that together. There'll be no high pressure sales. We don't do that. We do not teach that. There's no two-step close crap like you hear on some of these other mortgage coaching stuff I've seen. It's just horrible. We will have authentic, real conversations with you, and we're here to help you. So geniusloanofficer.com, and go out there and absolutely crush it. You know the drill. Limited risk equals limited income.